Hello, hi, namaste, and welcome back. Let us start today's topic, that is impact of high yielding and short duration varieties on shifts in cropping patterns. So these are some of the PYQs which have been asked in UPSC, CSC and Indian Forestry Service examination. However, this has not been ever asked in the OPSC exam. So let us discuss one by one. So first question is, discuss the impact of short duration and long duration varieties on deterioration of soil health. Okay. Then role of hybrids or high yielding varieties to meet national goal of food security. Explain the term crop diversification. The crop diversification we will deal in the other video. Then discuss the contribution of high yielding short duration varieties in crop intensification and diversification in India. Then write an account of shift in cropping pattern in different parts of India. Okay, this is not actually related to this particular topic, but we will discuss in another lecture. Then how have short duration varieties of crops contributed in increasing food grain production in India? So basically what actually have asked in the years, HIV and hybrids role in actually food grain production or national security or food security, and the impact of HIV or short duration varieties in a shift in cropping pattern. So these are the major topics, and crop diversification will deal in another video. So the first micro topic, that is impact of HIV or hybrids on food security. We know hybrids or a high yielding variety have very high production potential. So food grain production have definitely increased, and as we know, in 1960s there was around 82 million ton production of food grain, and now it is around 376 million ton, and many factors are responsible for this, but the main reason is introduction of high yielding variety and hybrids. One such example here you should write it in exam, that is in case of rice, one major variety, that is Pusa Basmati 1121 variety. So this is actually grown in around 2.5 million hectare of Basmati growing area, and the production is around 10 million ton production, and out of this around 6 million ton is exported, and we generate around $6 billion out of this, which is equivalent to, now it may be 60,000 crore, but I am referring to a news of January, that is around 51 crore rupees, 51,000 crore rupees. So this is actually 12% of India's total agricultural export earning. So you can guess, you can see that one variety, only one variety, Pusa Basmati 1121, that is accounting 12% of India's total agricultural export earning. So this is a very important example in terms of examination, you must write it. And one such example, that is your suppose BT cotton hybrid, BT cotton hybrid. So it is occupying around more than 95% of total cotton area, and in 2001-2002 we had only 35 million cotton production, that is in bales, and now no, this was around 15.8 million bales in 2001-2, and now we are getting around 35 million bales, and out of these the productivity is 443 kg lean per hectare. So basically the production actually more than doubled, in say in 20 years by when we adopt BT cotton hybrid in more than 95% of total cotton area in the country. So these are the two important example here. Then in different crops we can write various example, like in wheat we can write Kalyan Sona, Sonalika, HD2967, this is one important variety. In rice we can write IR8, Joya, Sorna, MTU 1010. And basically by introduction of such high yielding varieties in the green revolution period, uh, the food import actually got reduced. Food import actually got reduced. We were importing food under PL 480 program then. So this is all about food grain production and productivity, we know all increased. Then coming to the next heading, that is green revolution and national food security. So as we know, green revolution, the high yielding variety, this was actually the green revolution's backbone. Green revolution's backbone was the high yielding variety. Then obviously the irrigation, fertilizer, other things also added, but the green revolution backbone is high yielding variety. And due to this high yielding variety we got assured food production, actually food availability was assured, and we had a stable buffer stock, and thereby the PDS system was also strengthened. PDS system got also strengthened. Then commercial agriculture, we can write of our own, for example by introduction of BT cotton, hybrid maize, hybrid vegetables. Now it is actually prevalent. Then increase in cropping intensity. So as we know, in earlier times the cropping intensity was say just more than 100%, that is say 111%, and now it is more than 150% in many districts. So how cropping intensity actually increased? Suppose earlier we were using only rice, then fallow, then now suppose we are uh, practicing rice and wheat, then rice, potato, mustard, so like this. So the better land use will increase the annual production and obviously the farmers income. So not only the income, the production is increased, but also the quality of the produce, that is the nutritional security, is also improved by suppose adopting zinc rich rice variety or iron rich rice variety, iron rich pearl millet. Many such research are going on in the National Rice Research Institute, Kotak. The zinc rich rice variety, iron rich rice variety, biofortified variety of many crops are being developed. Protein rich maize, we know QPM. So this also actually reduced hidden hunger. This actually reduced hidden hunger. Then better climate resilience. So these new varieties, high yielding varieties, are actually tolerant to drought, uh, flood, salinity, heat. Suppose one example is Sorno Sub 1 variety. Sorno Sub 1 variety in the eastern coast of India, particularly in Odisha and adjoining states. This variety is prevalent, and it is grown around 0.4 million hectare area, and with also good production. Then tolerant to drought, suppose Sohobhagi Dhan is one example. Then increase farmers income. So farmers income increased due to more production and better marketing availability. Then rural livelihood also increased, and with these increased in income, he can actually go for farm mechanization, and which eventually increases his income far more. Then development of seed industry. As we know, we are requiring more amount of HYV or hybrid. So definitely the as demand for these actually increased, so there will be development of seed industry, both public and private sector, both will be increased. Okay, so these are some of the impact of HIV or hybrids on food security in India, but there is some challenges like decrease crop diversity, because due to adoption of high yielding variety and hybrid, for example we are going for rice wheat monoculture, so definitely there will be decrease in crop diversity. Some of the pulses, some of the traditional varieties, some of the millets which were earlier grown in the area, now those are actually being replaced by HIV and hybrids of many major cereals. Then soil nutrient depletion, how soil nutrient is getting depleted, these actually HIV or hybrids, they have been bred in such a way that they are voracious feeder actually, they are voracious feeder, so definitely they will mine the nutrient from the soil, so in the soil nutrient depletion will occur, and as the residue are not being incorporated in the soil, so definitely soil organic carbon will be less. Then these HIV or hybrids are dependent on irrigation or fertilizer. As I have mentioned, these are voracious feeder, so they are dependent on irrigation and fertilizers. So definitely those are mostly adaptable to the irrigated condition, and as they are dependent on irrigation, so they will definitely use their water requirement will be more, so the groundwater depletion, as it is seen in northwest India, Punjab, Haryana area, so groundwater depletion is one of its challenges. Then many of the new HYVs are resistant to many pests, but what actually happens, it is resistant or tolerant to one pest, but some new pests which were earlier not so much prevalent in that area, those new pests are actually getting emerged, and they actually create havoc in some years or other. Then as I have mentioned, these high yielding varieties or hybrids are dependent on irrigation, so irrigated area is getting benefited more, but there is not so much research on rainfed area crops, rainfed area varieties, so the rainfed area actually getting not getting the benefit of that. Then we'll go to the next heading, that is micro topic, impact of high yielding variety on in shift in cropping pattern. So as we know, high yielding variety means these are actually bred in such a way for they have been actually intensive breeding and genetic selection by this they have actually made, so they have the genetic potential, genetic yield potential is higher, and they actually respond well, as we have already seen, they have respond well to irrigation, fertilizer, and improved management practices, and improved management practices. So what actually happen, how they shift in cropping pattern. So first, before cropping pattern, we will see how they are changing in the crop selection. Due to availability of high yielding variety, the traditional land races which were earlier being cultivated, now those were replaced by high yielding variety, suppose wheat and rice. Example we can say IR8, Sorna, MT1010 in case of rice. Then another thing is that the core cereals and pulses, those are actually also being getting replaced by this high yielding variety wheat and rice. So actually we can say two crop rotational monoculture, two crop, because rice after wheat, two crop rotational monoculture actually taking place. And other things associated with it is also MSP, better market support. Then another thing is that by introduction of high yielding variety, the cropping intensity also got increased. How? Because traditionally, suppose we are having around 1960s 50s rice fallow, then after introduction we are going for wheat after rice, then mustard in the rabi season after rice. So as I have already mentioned earlier, cropping intensity also increased up to 150% in many irrigated districts of India. Then there is also shift towards high value cash crop. High value cash crop. So basically how it is shifting in cropping pattern. Earlier that was monocropping, now double cropping or multiple cropping, as we have seen rice, wheat, rice, maize, rice, mustard, like that. Then impact of short duration variety in shift in cropping pattern. So see this short duration variety. Short duration variety means these actually harvested earlier, or they are early maturing. Early maturing. So as they are early maturing or they remain in the field for lesser time, so they get actually sufficient time for multiple cropping. We can adopt multiple cropping, that is double cropping, triple cropping, like that. As for example, one rice wheat, suppose we have already discussed. For example, another is rice wheat, and if by the adoption of short duration wheat we get another short span of time before the next rice sowing, we can take green fodder in that period. This is Kharif, this is Rabi, this is Zaid. In eastern India, we can have rice, then potato, then mung bean. Mung bean in the summer season. Just before Kharif season, we can take mung bean, short duration mung bean, again short duration potato. So the multiple cropping is possible. So if multiple cropping is possible, that means cropping intensity is actually increased. Cropping intensity means gross cropped area by net area sown into 100. So cropping intensity is also getting increased. Then another thing is, see, we have by taking mung bean here, by taking green fodder here, or after potato we can have some summer vegetable also here. So what we are actually doing, we are diversifying. So crop diversification is also increased by this adoption of short duration varieties. Then another thing is its role in rainfed area and climate resilience. Okay, this is the most important focus here. So how actually it is helpful in rainfed and climate resilience? We know this is early maturing. So early maturing means that will escape the terminal drought or heat stress, which are actually prevalent in the later season. Suppose one wheat crop is there and we will experience, suppose, heat wave or drought condition during April. So that short duration wheat variety can actually be harvested or mature around March. So that will escape the terminal drought or heat stress. So it is very much suitable for the changing climate scenario. And as it is harvested earlier, so definitely its water requirement is also less. That means irrigation requirement will be also less. So water management will be also better. water management will also better. That's why those can be suitable for rainfed area where there is no scope of irrigation. Okay, so cropping pattern, how it actually shifted in due to short duration variety we saw. Then some example we can mention here. Wheat, this is important, HD2967, it is actually getting harvested around 120 to 130 days. So we will have enough time for Z crop. We can write one example of cropping system here. Then another example is short duration rice with climate resilience, that is your Sahabhagi Dhan. This is actually 105 to 110 days. This is grown in eastern India mainly. Sahabhagi Dhan is actually drought tolerant, as we are seeing here. It is harvested it around 105 to 110 days. So it will be definitely drought tolerance will be there. Some other examples are also there. Pusa Basmati, this is important, Pusa Basmati 1509. So you see Pusa Basmati 1509, this is short duration, so its water requirement will be less, and in the Basmati growing area of Punjab, this is actually grown, this is actually a boon for farmers. So we can have other examples from maize like Bibek series, okay, that is perfect for relay cropping or intercropping. Then Pusa Bisal, another variety of mung bean, Pusa Bisal. This is actually getting harvested in 60 to 70 days. Virat is also another variety which is getting harvested. So another advantage I can say here for mung bean, as it is harvested in 60 days, so we can grow it as a catch crop. Then we'll go to long duration variety, impact of long duration variety in shift in cropping pattern. So long duration varieties means that will remain in the field for longer period. They will remain in the field for longer period. So what actually then why will be selected, or when selected the long duration variety, when we are selected where there is water availability is assured, then we go for the long duration variety. And in crop where biomass is important, for example one fodder crop where biomass is important, then there we can go for long duration variety. And where rattuning is possible, rattuning means so stubble से फिर से another crop will emerge. Then where yield potential outweigh the opportunity cost of longer field occupancy. Okay, I am simplifying this. Suppose we are taking rice, then say potato. So here suppose this is short duration. In another case, this is rice long duration, then fallow. So if the yield potential in the second case, that is the long duration rice case, if the yield potential of this long duration rice will be more than what we are generating from this potato, then we can go for this rice fallow, that is long duration rice. I think it is clear. Then when it is impact, as we have mentioned impact, so impact means there will be positive impact, there will be negative impact. So positive impact is as we know, biomass production will be more. Then yield potential in some crop. Actually, the long duration crops have more yield potential because in long duration crop, the vegetative phase is more, actually longer. The vegetative phase is actually longer. So when the vegetative phase is longer, then the uh, growth will be, the photosynthesis will be more, and the dry matter accumulation will be more, and ultimately grain yield will be more. The main difference between long duration rice and short duration rice is the reproductive phase remains same. Reproductive phase remains same. That is from panicle initiation to last maturing stage. This is almost constant 60 days. But the in the long duration rice, the vegetative phase is actually longer. Vegetative phase is actually longer. There is no change in the reproductive phase mostly. The vegetative phase is longer, and in long duration rice, one stage is also there, vegetative lag phase. Vegetative lag phase, which is not present in the short duration varieties. And another, we were discussing the positive impact. One was biomass, then yield potential, then better suitability for irrigated area. Better suitability for irrigated area. So this is I think some of the positive impact. Then we'll go for some of the negative impact of long duration varieties. So in long duration variety, actually cropping intensity is less, or as we have seen in rice fallow, the cropping intensity is low here. Then delay sowing. Even if we are going for another crop, then that crop sowing is delayed. For example, here we can go for rice, potato, but the sowing of potato will be delayed. And suppose delay sowing in case of rabi crop, say wheat, chickpea, mustard, then yield will be definitely low due to this late planting, because in case of wheat there will be late heat stress problem, heat stress, maybe in the later season drought will be a problem. In mustard, in case of delayed sowing, mustard aphid is a common problem. Then in long duration variety, water requirement is also high. Water requirement is also high. Then so that will be pressure on groundwater. And another is flexibility for farmers. Flexibility for farmers. Flexibility for farmers is actually low. Why? Because the farmers cannot easily respond to the market changes, delayed monsoon, climatic variability. So these are some of the examples. So some of the examples of this long duration variety. In case of rice, it is Sorno, CR Dhan 205. Okay. Then we will discuss the impact of these long duration variety, high yielding variety, or short duration variety on soil health. Not actually short duration variety, we will discuss on the HYV mainly, and long duration variety. What is its impact in soil health? So when we will discuss soil health in the soil science chapter, we can see there soil health means is a physical health, chemical health, biological health. So actually we have also seen in the previous discussion that these HYV or hybrids or long duration crop, they're actually voracious feeder. So nutrient mining or nutrient depletion will be a common problem, because these actually take NPK, micronutrient, everything plant will take, and we are actually applying only mainly NPK. There is very less focus on micronutrient. That's why also their name, they are also termed micro, because very less focus on them we are applying. So the micronutrient deficiency is common. For example, in rice wheat system in Punjab and Haryana, zinc and sulfur deficiency is problem. Zinc is a micronutrient, sulfur is a secondary nutrient. Then soil organic carbon is also less because intensive cropping and residue burning in the rice wheat system, residue burning. So the residue is not incorporated in the soil, so definitely organic matter is less. And when organic matter in the soil actually decreases, so we can have poor soil structure because soil will be compacted. Poor soil structure, so poor soil structure will lead to less water holding capacity of the soil, and also microbial health, microbial diversity will be less, and microbial health is also harmful, or microbial activity is less. Then soil biological health, we can relate this one. This soil organic carbon decreases, then monocropping may diversity is reduced, then chemical fertilizer intensive use, that actually also reduces microbial diversity and activity also. Then soil physical properties, we saw here soil physical properties, we saw here water holding capacity, we saw soil organic carbon, we saw the structure, hard pen. Okay, poor soil structure we have already seen because this continuous puddled rice cultivation, what actually it does, it degrades the soil structure, and forms hard pen. And further use of machinery also increases the soil compaction, Then by this HIV or hybrid or long duration variety, these are actually demand water more, so the mainly irrigated crops, so the irrigation demand is also increased. So irrigation demand means when there will be more irrigation demand but drainage is poor, then we will have two situations. One is waterlogging and another is increasing salinity, as we have as the salt thus can't be drained or leached out, so the salinity will be increased and waterlogging problem. Then another is soil fertility. Okay, one is these are the negative impact. One positive impact may be because by adoption of these HIV high yielding variety, so we can have crop diversification, for example rice, then wheat, and after suppose this is short duration, and we can have some pulses after that, suppose green gram. So what actually happens, the soil biodiversity is increased, atmospheric nitrogen is getting fixed by this by taking the green gram or pulses, soil organic matter is also increased. Then by taking crops of various families, we can have break in pest and disease cycle. Okay, so we saw the impact on soil health. Then before that we saw impact of short duration, long duration, high yielding variety in shift in cropping pattern, and before that we saw impact of high yielding variety or hybrid on food security or nutritional security of India. So thank you.